G'day and welcome to Garden Clinic TV. I'm Graham Ross and I've got some great tips for you, especially if you're growing trees or even shrubs. Suckers. No, I don't mean the guy down the road. I mean the suckers that appear on your plants. Now, they're actually good and bad suckers. The bad suckers are on roses when the understock starts to shoot. But there are other types of what we generally call in gardening suckers. Take these for example. Now, it is a grafted Colereteria, which is the golden rain tree, a spectacular tree. It took me 5 years to decide what I'd actually plant here because we'd lost a tree much earlier, a Chinese elm. So, yep, an old favourite, and it's a great tree. But interestingly, when I eventually tracked one down that was a nice mature tree with a good trunk, it was grafted. But the suckers are not coming from that graft. They're coming from the stem of the real tree that I want. So we just call them suckers, and they're coming off, and you can see them here coming off the side. Now, because they're producing a lot of foliage, they're taking up energy that I want to go up into the tree canopy. So you've got to remove them. Now, I've actually got a pair of these Japanese root pruners. Why are they so clever? Because they've got a curved blade. So when you actually cut the bud out, it takes the bud and all. Now, in a big tree pruning, we tend to come out from the stem just a little and leave a small collar. But in this case, I don't want that collar there, and I want the bud removed completely. So with a pair of these, they're really good. So if you're ever at a garden show and you see them for sale at bonsai stands, get a pair. But if you're like me and also got a regular pair of secateurs, then you've got to get the blade in really close. So the cutting blade needs to go right up against the stem, like so, and that when you cut it, it'll take that bud out completely. Now, I've got a couple here to show you, so I'll take this one out firstly. My bamboo stake's in the way. There we go. Now, I do need to tidy that up a little because there is still a bit of the bud left, and it'll only reshoot. And I've got another one here that I can show you. So, but there are all sorts of suckers, like these little fellows here. But there are good suckers, like the Rufus palm that we planted. One plant about 10, 12 years ago, and look at it now. It's a great screen giving us privacy on those bedroom windows. And it's sending up lots of really beaut suckers. We want those, and we want that Rufus to extend out right along that border. So those suckers that are coming up that you can see there, they're really good ones. Now, there's another sucker that you don't want. This one is a bad sucker. I can tell it's from an elm because of the shape of the leaf, and it's bright green. But it's actually coming from a variegated elm that was planted 110 years ago over my shoulder on the corner of this property. Now, it would have been propagated in the late 1800s, 1890s, something like that. And it was grafted onto a regular elm. And that's what's suckering. But it's 20 odd metres away. It's a long way away. So what's it doing here? Well, it's just decided to sucker up here. I haven't cultivated anywhere near it. I have been planting some extra herbs up in this corner. So it's just decided to sucker up. Now, I'm not keen on putting in poisons and what have you because I've got veggies and herbs growing in this area. So I'm just going to keep cutting it back, pruning it back, and trying to keep it under control as far down as I can with the prune. I'll just take that saw back and then well, there's another bit that I've obviously pruned some time ago. But I'm quite happy to keep taking this sort of suckers out without having to use poisons. Not a major drama. Some people might get in there with a glyphosate, but not when you're growing veggies and herbs nearby. But the other sucker is the Rufus I mentioned earlier. Now, this is a magnificent Rufus palm, often used as an indoor plant in shopping centres and in homes and gardens and in offices. It's a really tough indoor plant. But outdoors, it's one of my favourite palms altogether because it only gets to about 2 and a bit metres tall, but it suckers beautifully. And this is a really good sucker because, as you can see here, it's sending up new suckers, these little fellows here, and that's actually helping it to spread. Believe it or not, this great clump was just one plant maybe 10 years ago, and look, it's grown into this fantastic clump. It's right up the back there as well, on the other side of the Brugmansia, and I want it to extend right the way along here. And you can do that just by leaving the plant alone or lightly cultivating around the edge, and that'll encourage the roots to go out and the shoots to come up, and you end up with great suckers and a fantastic hedge. Rhapis excelsa, a really good palm, indoors or out actually.